Hi, and welcome to another episode of Cupcake, Cocktails, and Conversation. This is episode 3, and today we're going to be talking about Put Me on Your 1099. All right, so the drink that we have, because it is fall and it is my favorite season, drink we have an apple pie on the rocks. And it is from Bartesian. I did sugar rim, cinnamon sugar, caramel. It's very good, perfect for the fall. It's not sweet at all. If you want to know how I made the drink, click the next video and we'll show you how to do it. It's real good. Get your drink in the meantime. And I also made an apple spice cupcake, which is with salted caramel and an apple as well. That's good. Good stuff. But we're not gonna sit here and eat all day. We're gonna talk about this topic. So, Joe Budden. I listen to the Joe Budden Podcast all the time. Very entertaining. And on their Pateron rather, on Patreon they had a topic and they were talking about making their significant other a 1099 employee. So what they were talking about, and I'm not going to put the clip here because I pay for Patreon, and if you want to listen to it, you can pay for Patreon too. So I put, they talked about how much they are giving their significant others monthly to pay their bills. And so one of the gentlemen was like, well, why don't you just make them a 1099 employee and then you can get a tax write-off. So all the gentlemen on the panel, they actually agreed that it makes sense, but Joe's pushback, just to play the devil's advocate, was, would women actually go for it? And he don't think many women will. My take is, it really depends on the age group and the mentality. Now, I talked to a couple of my friends about it. I talked to my husband about it, and my husband, being the male, he said he gets it, and he thinks that I would be down for it if we were in that kind of situation, but he also thinks it would be a little insulting. But here's the thing, like, the part of me that would be insulted, which is like that part, the rest of me is alright with it, because it's a win-win. And then all of my other girlfriends that I talked to about it, that are a little older than me, they were all like, that's a no-brainer. And I think realistically, it's a no-brainer. So the long of it is, if I'm paying X amount of dollars for your car and your phone and your hair, your nails, your makeup, whatever it costs to maintain your lady or your man, and I own my own business, and I've been doing this for a while, and I'm like, you know what? If I put you in the company as like an assistant of some sort, then it's a tax write-off. Yeah, you're probably getting over, but all the rich people get over anyway. So why can't we get over too? So why not? And the argument is, well, a lot of women might think that, oh, well, don't you do this because you love me? Like, so now my love costs money and I'm just a tax write-off. Well, your kids are a tax write-off now, isn't it? Because y'all stay writing off some kids and everybody trying to borrow kids. So write off your girl too. I don't really see a problem with it. I think it makes sense perfectly. For instance, when tax season comes around, we always have the tax preparer prepare our taxes to see which makes more sense. Do we file married but separate or married together? Whichever way it works out. Now, there are times where we file and I get a refund and he doesn't get a refund. So in my mind, my refund, because he owes money, my refund now goes into what he owes. Like, don't give me any money back. Send that, just let him absorb it. Because at the end of the day, that's money coming out of our household. So if I get $2,000 back and he owes $6,000, $6,000 still has to come out of our household. So why not put my $2,000 or our $2,000? Now it's only $4,000 coming out. Like, to me, it only makes sense to think about the household and not think about yourself as an individual entity. Like, that's not what relationships about. That's not what marriage is about. That's not what a partnership's about. It's all about what's best for us and our come up. If one of my businesses are popping, I have no problem with making my husband a 1099 employee. Even if he's not getting anything from it, like I want the tax write-off. Like, we're all in this together. Everything we do is together. Like, when people say marriage is a business, nah, it's really a business. Like, there's a business called marriage, and that's just the business part of it. And financially, we're going to be better off in this way. I think that women, the older we get, the more mature we get when it comes to looking at relationships that way, instead of just being like this emotional tie to it. You kind of look at it more on a broader spectrum of, what are we building together versus just my heart and my emotions involved in it. When it comes to buying house, or houses, doing businesses, like, how is it that as a family, our family net worth is going to go and improve versus just yours. So when I used to push cupcakes, my husband, we right there pushing cupcakes with me. He knew that I wasn't the person to talk. Like, I don't like to sell myself. So therefore, he'd be the person to talk. Like, I can bake, I can decorate, I can do all that. But like the talking to the people, you do that, and he would do that in support of me in any way, because whatever money I made is gonna go into the house regardless. It goes into the house regardless of how you look at it. And I think that's the bigger picture in that Joe Budden conversation. But Joe Budden kept saying that women won't go for it. Like, he knows women that will, but there's so many that wouldn't. And they also brought up it's that kind of caliber of woman. They kind of try to say it's the kind of women he dates, or the people in the comments would say it's the kind of women that he dates. So I think that some of these women, especially like a lot of young people, are making money in the social media world, and these girls are really about how to get to the next bag, and I think they would be down for it. I think that they're coming out of that other part of it where they're so dependent upon the heartstrings, that they would be down for it. The 1099, like, if I could be your tax write-off at any point. Like, I'm okay with it. Even on the military side, there are vets that are 100% disabled, for instance, and their spouse gets paid to be their caregiver. This person is going to care for them regardless. Are you going to turn down that extra whatever amount of dollars because, well, we love each other and I do this out of love? That's all right, but we can get an extra grand in the house a month. We're not going to say no. It's, if I'm doing it anyway, what difference does it make? It's the same thing. If I'm giving you $3,000 or $2,000 or $1,000 or $500 for your bills every month, I don't know where you live. If I'm giving you that every month regardless, then like, I'm going to make you, assistant number 3, and we're going to file these taxes, and you're going to be an employee, you're going to get a 1099, and you're going to get a check, and that's the way it's going to be. Because at some point, you're going to be doing these things anyway. You might have to remind me I have a meeting. You might have to remind me, put something on the calendar. Put me down as personal chef. Like, my husband's put me down as personal chef. I'm good with that. Or a comfort person. They have little pets. I could be that. I could be your caregiver. Make an employee. So I don't know what you guys' thoughts about it. I don't think it's an issue. I think anything we can do to grow together, especially in our community, in the Black and brown community, anything we can do to build that generational wealth makes sense to me. We have another home, and as of right now, we have a tenant in that home. And my thoughts are, when my daughter when she graduates from high school, this house needs to go to her, not for her to live in. Like, she can't live in it or anything. This is her rental property. So therefore, when she's in college, she doesn't have to worry about getting a job. When I was in college, I didn't get a job. I really did well without a daggone job. So if I had a job, I really would have been failing. But I didn't get a job. I called home and said, hey, anybody want to give me some money? Anybody today? And I feel the same thing about her. Like, as long as she's doing well, this is her rental property. This is her first step into business, and it's the first step into owning something. You put it in her name. She collects, she collects the rent through the property manager, of course, because we're never going to get rid of them. And that way she can concentrate on her other job, which is her education at the time. That'll keep her off the pole. OnlyFans is dying, so I don't have to worry about her being on OnlyFans. That keep her off of X videos, hopefully. Like I'm trying to keep her out of the sex business, and just keep, give her things to look forward to and keep building, because a lot of times as Black and brown people, we have our goalpost is so far back in the U.S. that we don't have these opportunities, and every generation is supposed to do better. My mom has laid the foundation, and now it's our turn to build on that foundation, and these are the next steps in that, So, hey, 1099 it up. I'm down for the 1099. If you're not down for the 1099, let me know in the comments down below. This is just a little quickie video. If you want to know about this drink I made from Bartesian, you hear me. This drink I made, or this recipe, I'll have the description down below. Please subscribe, like, more content to come, and I'll see you next time. Bye.